Hi guys! I am here with my husband Michael, and we are actually going to be doing our first running video today. So we are going to tell you guys the top 10 do's and don'ts for when you start running. So these are things that we have learned along the way, that mistakes that we've made that we are telling you guys so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. So I will let my husband Michael start off with number 1.
Alrighty. Well, hey guys, it's good to meet you. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I really hope that these tips really benefit you and get you on the run that you're really looking for. So our first one on our list is to be sure to stretch. I've learned this from just recent experience, pushing myself a little too hard and getting a pulled muscle. It could put you down for a week, 2 weeks, if not longer, just depending on how severe that pull is. Yeah. So I highly recommend stretching. And I am just talking about just do some simple stretches that you've seen someone else at the gym do. Actually get on the internet, and we could probably shoot a video too, some stretches that we do.
Yeah, he might enjoy that.
Yoga pants only. And but make sure you get on the internet and really get some deep stretches for your hips, your back, and your thighs, your legs, all the way across the board. So
yoga is a great way to get your stretching in. So adding yoga in, like doing like a full yoga class even one day a week. But when you're doing your stretches, look up yoga for runners, and you'll find some really deep stretches, yoga poses that'll get you stretched in just the right places, especially your hips and your lower back, because those are the places that tend to lock up on you, especially when you're first starting to run. So yeah, yoga is a good way to do that, and just add some swimming in every once in a while to help with your recovery too.
Absolutely. If you have access to a pool, it definitely 100% helps. It's there's no gravity, and you float across the water, and it's a good way for you to stretch and extend your muscles. So that's our first do.
So our first don't would be don't go for distance and speed in the same run. It's two totally different kinds of runs, and you can really injure yourself trying to do both in the same day. If you're going for distance, it's recommended that you take like what your normal running time is if you're going for speed, and taking it about 2 minutes slower per mile than you would normally run, and that's about what you should be running for distance. So that's the baby.
A little Eli over there, he's making his debut here too. So
if you're doing distance, make sure you're just taking it light and easy. You really want to enjoy your distance run. Your heart rate shouldn't be getting over 150-ish during your distance run. So, and then if you're going for speed, you really don't want to go over, like, really 2 miles should really be your max that you're going if you're really just giving it all you have for speed.
Absolutely.
So.
And I would say, for our next do, it's not on our list, and I apologize because she's a green type personality and I like to follow the rules a little bit, so I'm gonna jump off here. But I got to think about as the run, it's very important to work on your run technique. There's actually a proper way as you're running along for your heel to hit, to roll the outside of your foot and on to the front of your foot, and to work on proper technique all the way through, because that ultimately, like, if your technique is just a little off, it can throw your body out of alignment. So a perfect technique can take you the distance, and you can feel better doing it, and it start to feel like you're floating on clouds. So again, that's probably another video that we'll shoot on is proper technique, but for the time being, just YouTube, Runner's World, they have a lot of good articles and advice and stuff on there that you can check out.
Yeah. Okay, so our next don't would be don't do back-to-back runs if you're doing distance or speed runs. If you're going for a long distance, or if you're going for like a personal record on your speed, a PR, then you want at least a day in between those runs to let your body recover. You're tearing your muscles down when you do that, and so you need lots of protein. Just a little tidbit in there, make sure you're getting lots of protein after your run within 30 minutes. But anyway, so your muscles need that day to rebuild themselves. If you're gonna be running on back-to-back days, you need to make it just light easy runs, a couple of miles, still doing the light pace. And if you're doing that, like going out and running your dog or something like that for 20 minutes, that's not a big deal. But if you're pushing yourself on distance or you're pushing yourself on speed, you need to give your body at least a day in between.
So our next do would be to run early in the morning. Now, assuming that you're in a place where it gets really hot in the summer time, because we're here in Missouri during this month of August, it gets burning hot.
Yeah, it does.
And so, you know, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, it's too late to get out there and really hustle your run, because that sun is beating down on you. And it's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah,
there's days that I really enjoy running in the heat, because I like the sweat, but for the long distance part of it, it does get a little bit more challenging. So to really enjoy your runs, if you're just looking for that runner's high, you know, that everyone talks of, now that does come in time as you build up to it. But however, running in the morning, you're gonna better experience it, especially if you find a trail that's down by like a lake that you're gonna run through, or a forest, forest, or just the trails or whatever. Like there's no really forest around us.
Lots of shade and scenery, and it makes it a nice run.
Absolutely, and it's just a lot more enjoyable.
So yeah, we made the mistake of. Hi, buddy. We made the mistake of going out at, I think it was 11 a.m. and it was about 90. It was about 90 degrees when we started running, and that was not enjoyable. That was a terrible run for me, and that was a lesson that I learned. So just do yourself a favor and try and get out. I mean, really, by latest by like 7 a.m. is really what I suggest getting out and running.
Absolutely.
Don't run through your shin splints. I made that mistake in the beginning, and I think we both did, but I really felt it. Like, it affected me. Sometimes you can get shin splints, and that's just part of it.
He's talking to the presidents back here on the wall.
There he is. Proper technique, if you study that, again, that helps to not get as many shin splints, but most people end up with some kind of shin splints when they first start. You want to take it easy.
Stay your mouth.
Do walks. Like, it's the first time. Feeling sore, feeling like your muscles getting tight and stuff, that's different than when you start feeling the pain of shin splints. When you start feeling that pain, stop immediately and let your body recover. Do a lot of stretching, walking, swimming, again, going back to the recovery stuff, and give yourself a few days at least to recover. And once you feel like you're not sore on your shins anymore and they're not throbbing, then try going back to it. But just give your body time to heal. Don't just continue running through it and trying to just push through it. That's your body giving you a signal to slow down. So just give your body time to recover and then go back to it.
Well, for our next do, it is one of my personal favorites is setting goals. In the beginning, I remember I would just set a simple goal of, running 1 mile, and then just hit the mile, felt accomplished, get off the treadmill, and stretch real good. And then it got to the point where I was setting goals of running for like 20 minutes. And not even paying attention to the distance. It was just the fact of just keeping my heart rate going, staying on the treadmill, staying steady. And yes, this is indoors on a treadmill, running consistently for 20 minutes. I really like running on a treadmill. I like both worlds. It could be a whole other video, but sometimes it's good to run the treadmill because it's easier on your knees, your joints, because there's a little bit of give versus the pavement. But anyway, so set goals, and I mean, it can be as simple as, okay, I just want to run a half mile today. Like your first goal shouldn't be to go out and run 10 miles. You can probably do it. I believe in you that you could probably wake up right now and go out and do it. But I promise you, the next morning, it'd be the biggest regret of your life, and it might push you away from running. Yeah. And that's the truth, because like when you're real sore, okay, I got it. And so when you set your goals, set small goals. And I mean, to you, they're big goals off the beginning. A half mile, if you haven't ran much before, that's a big goal.
Yeah.
You know, and then 1 mile, and just work your way up. Don't compare yourself to everybody else. You know, like me, I get to the gym, and then we got Mr. Gazelle next to me, and I feel like I need to compete. I don't even know who he is, but I got the thing cranked up, and next thing you know, I'm hurt for, you know, the next month because trying to keep up with, you know, the cheetah next to me. But anyways, so set realistic goals, start small, you know, whether it's distance or it's time, and build up towards that. And especially if you're gonna be running marathons or triathlons, if you're gonna be setting up to do some competitions, make sure that's several months out in front of you. And you can find good training programs online that says, okay, this week you run this many miles, this weekend you run this, and so forth, all the way up into the race. And those are great to follow too if you don't know where to start on setting your goals. I mean, there's thousands of these templates, running templates that you can find that will get you on your way.
Yeah, or even saying, I want to run twice this week. Like the amount of times per week that you want to run, it keeps you from going and realizing, I haven't ran in 2 weeks and I didn't even realize it. It just kind of keeps you accountable for where you're at.
Our next don't we have on the list is hard workouts. Doing hard workouts, then like the next day going and running. I feel like weight training and running is, let me say it like this. Weight training and long distance running for like marathons, half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, whatever you're running, and doing serious weightlifting do not go hand in hand. They just don't mix. But I mean, if you're running a mile, then you're weightlifting, totally cool. It's a good way to get your heart, you know, going, or even a couple miles.
Yeah.
But when you really start talking distance, you know, you start running, you know, 7, 8, 10, 12 miles, then that's when weightlifting's good, but you don't really want to be pushing yourself through the weightlifting, and then a few days later go push yourself through a run. That's when real injuries are going to occur. Like we talked about when the first or second do's, to work on proper technique. Well, if you're working on proper technique and, you know, and it's been a few weeks, and then you go do some heavy weightlifting, you become sore and your muscles contract, well, that next day when you go run, your technique is going to be off. And there's a good chance during that you could pull a muscle, you could, you know, pull bone out of place or something, and hurt your running. It could be pretty serious, it could be pretty minor. What I'm saying to you is separate them.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to do your weightlifting training, then stay to that schedule. But if you're going to start running marathons, be real light on the weights and put more focus into your running.
Do number 5 would be to make sure you have plenty of water. And we went out on our first long run together, and all we brought was like a regular water bottle, and I left it in the van not thinking, and we went out on a 6-mile trail again, and we didn't go in the early morning. We went in, I think it was probably about 10 in the morning, so it was getting a lot warmer, and I'm used to having, all I had ran before was on the treadmill, and I had my water right there with me all the time. And so we get around the trail, and we get to about mile 4, and I thought I was in the Sahara Desert, and I thought I was gonna die. And so that last 2 miles that we ran to get back to the car was awful. So just do yourself a favor and make sure you have some kind of water on you, especially if it's hot out. It's really important to make sure you have water on you. Don't number 5 is don't wear too short of shorts. I made that mistake also. I think that might have been our second or third run. But so if you do like 2 miles, not a big deal. But you start getting into 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, and your thighs start to do this together, and you sweat, and they rub, and you sweat, and they rub, until they are completely like chafed, and it hurts. It hurts bad. So just make sure you have like shorts with Spanx under them, or if you do have shorter shorts, that you're putting lots of Body Glide in between your legs. And it's a good idea to put Body Glide under your arms too, because your arms tend to chafe on your shirt sometimes. So make sure you're either wearing capris, pants, or shorts with Spanx. Absolutely.
And guys too. Be careful with the short shorts. same thing. So Body Glide got that. So our next do is there's this app that we use. It's called Strava. Her cousins, we met at the wedding. They got to talking about this app, and they're insane in their fitness, Marines, Navy, and all this. And so they got us turned on to this app, which is basically it can track bike, swim, runs. The Strava is a great app, especially if you're going to be running by yourself a lot. This is a good way to link in your friends, and some friends that you probably didn't even realize that are running, that are out there, that are on Strava. There's going to be a lot more people using that than what you realize. But it's real fun to get on there because you're going to post your runs, how far you went, your average mile. You get to take a picture of the trail or, the backyard or whatever you ran.
I think my favorite thing about Strava is that if you're tracking from the very beginning, which I highly suggest you track from the very beginning, because 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, you can go look at those first runs and you can see the difference that you've made in your training. And it's really neat to go back and see, like, oh my gosh, I've gotten that much faster, or I'm doing this much distance.
So it's a really encouraging app to have, like she was saying, to track your runs and be able to reflect on that and to know when you set a record or you went your longest distance. And there's also other groups that you can join on there for people from all around the world, and so you can participate in a 50-mile run and distance in a month or whatever it is. But it's a great app. It's good to meet you. I'm happy to be here on this video to share these do's and don'ts with you. Appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully you learn something new and you can start to apply these to your runs right now, and it'll help give you the results that you're looking for.
So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you run. Let us know where you're at in your running journey. If you're training for anything, let us know what you're training for. My husband and I are training for the marathon at Disney World in January. We're also training for a Kansas City Olympic triathlon next May. So let us know if you're training for one of those. So thank you for watching today. We'll be back with more updates as we go, and tips and tricks. So subscribe to the channel and you can see our videos as they come across. And if you click that bell down there, you can see it'll notify you on your phone whenever a video posts from my channel. So it was nice to talk to you guys, and we'll see you later. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
It's good. You gotta stop it.
We're off yet.
Okay. Go for distance and speed at the same time. Don't run through your shin splints.
Hi guys! Practicing.
Okay. Are you making fun of me?
Hi guys! We're here today!
Are you making fun of me right now?
No.
Are you recording this?
I want proof.